What's going on, Madden Nation? It is Movie with Movie Gaming TV. How you guys doing today? I wanted to start a new series where I pretty much pick against the spread who I think is going to win, and you got some MUT squads, mud squads, gameplay in the background. So I have all the lines of all the teams up, and then I'm just going to talk about each game, who I think is going to win, and who I think you should bet on against the spread. As always, these are for entertainment purposes only. If you have a gambling problem, get help with your gambling problem. But I just wanted to kind of talk about each NFL team as we go through this. And then there's also gameplay for you guys to watch. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. And just kind of as a programming note, I've recorded so many Mud Squads games. I've got a lot of strategies for you guys. What happened is I got so many of them backlogged. Basically just a ton of them recorded with nothing to do with them, because my meta kept changing. Like my strategies, they kept changing. I've kind of come into a nice place with those, so now I feel like I can start making like some tips videos. I'm playing with Cardinal and Marcos here. You guys probably know who they are. But let's get into our first game here. We got Jets +8 at the Bills. I kind of think the Jets are going to be one of the worst teams ever in the modern NFL. They pretty much got rid of everybody on their team. Their quarterback is Josh McCown. The only problem is I don't really think the Bills are that good either. I don't have really any reason to believe in the Bills. They got rid of Sammy Watkins. They did pick up Jordan Matthews, who I kind of like personally, but +8 is a huge number. I mean, that's a big number for a bad team to cover. But it's just like, man, do I really take the Jets on the road +8? It's a pretty well set line. I think, I don't know, the first game of the year, I kind of see maybe the Bills like winning by 7. I cannot believe I'm doing this, but I would take the Jets +8 points. Who knows, man? Maybe the Jets are as healthy as they'll be. Like, they have absolutely no depth, so once they get injured, they're going to be pretty dang bad. But I guess in game one here, I would take the Jets +8. Now our second game is Atlanta -6.5 at the Bears. I would jump all over Atlanta on this one, guys. Take Atlanta. I know they're going to be outside on grass instead of on turf, but the Atlanta Falcons look absolutely beast. I could definitely see them at least making the NFC Championship game again. They've got a great offense, as you guys know. Former MVP in Matt Ryan. They got Julio Jones. They got Devonta Freeman. They got Tevin Coleman. They got Gabriel. They got Sanu. They got Austin Hooper, who's on the rise. Their defense, I think, is very underrated too. They got Vic Beasley. They got Deion Jones. They got Jalen Collins. They're getting Trufant back. Their offensive line isn't that bad. They are really a complete team. I could see them going against the Seahawks this year in the NFC Championship game. I really think they're going to be fired up to get back on the field after the Super Bowl loss. So I really think Atlanta's going to be turned up. The Bears, you got Mike Glennon. Jordan Howard, he's pretty dang good. I don't really think their defense is that good. I think 6.5 is a low number. I think they probably should have set this at like maybe 8 or 9 at least. So just all we have to have is Atlanta to win by a touchdown to win our bet. I would take Atlanta without question, -6.5 points. I got all these numbers too from the Westgate Sportsbook. I just went on like ESPN.com, and it had like a bunch of different like sports books or whatever to get these lines. If you guys have like a frequent place that you bet, or a really good place to get the lines from, let me know down in the comments below. And also, guys, let me know your picks down in the comments below. I'm gonna try to keep track of how I did, so I can like kind of build a record for the season. And if you guys want to do that as well, go ahead, be sure to do that down in the comments below. So our next game is Baltimore +3 at Cincinnati. So basically Baltimore gets 3 points added on to their total here if you want to bet on them. And that is who I'm going to take in this matchup. I will take Baltimore plus the 3 points. I think they're going to win the game outright. Personally, I think Joe Flacco is going to play. Their defense got a little bit better this year. And when I watch Cincinnati, I'm just really not too impressed with them. I didn't really like their defense. Their offense is kind of I don't know. I'm not, you know, they still got AJ Green and Dalton. They just don't do anything particularly well. And so I like Baltimore here. Plus we get 3 points if it's close. I want to take Baltimore here with the +3. Our next game is Pittsburgh -9.5 at Cleveland. I'm going to jump on Pittsburgh here. It's a big number, but I honestly think Pittsburgh is one of the best teams in the AFC. In Cleveland, they do have Deshaun Kaiser, who I've liked so far. I thought he's kind of brought an energy to the team. They won a lot of their preseason games, which doesn't mean much, but he was playing a lot during them and played pretty well. I just think he's running into a buzzsaw in game 1. This seems like the type of game where Pittsburgh will win by 14 points or something like that. Brown going off, Bell's back, Big Ben's healthy as he's going to be for the entire season in game 1. Their defense, I feel, is getting a little bit better, with guys like Bud Dupree and Shazier. And I kind of like Pittsburgh to roll in this one, especially after New England lost to my team, the Kansas City Chiefs, which I feel like I need to tell you guys that that's my team. So I'm kind of like picking all these, what I feel is like pretty unbiased this week. And I'll try to have these videos out, earlier in the week, next week, or at least like earlier on Saturday. But I really needed to get a video out from Madden. I've been putting a bunch of money into my defense, man. I need to start making videos. I've just been like playing the game like nonstop. So I will have videos for you guys. I will have strategies, and I will try to do this series every week. All right, so we got our next game here, Arizona -2 at Detroit. Now this is a really tough one. Arizona obviously has a really good defense with Mathieu, Pat Pete, Dwayne Buchanan, I believe Calais Campbell. They still have a good defense. Carson Palmer, it just kind of like, how long can he keep hanging on? I mean, they do have David Johnson. They do still have Fitzmagic. They do still have Nelson. I think they have like Brown still. So they definitely have some options of people that they can pass to. Detroit is such a weird team. They have like Slay on defense, Ziggy Ansah. Matt Stafford just got that huge contract. I think he's been pretty good even since Megatron left, kind of spreading the ball around. I don't know, man. I kind of want to take Detroit in this game, especially since they're getting 2 points because it's Arizona -2. I think I'm going to take Detroit in this game. That would be my pick for this game. Our next game is Jacksonville +4.5 at Houston. And I am going to take Houston all the way here, even though -4.5, even though Tom Savage is the quarterback. Shout out to everybody in Houston. It really sucks about Hurricane Harvey. Really shout out to JJ Watt for getting a ton of money raised, and everybody out there, keep your head up and donate if you guys can donate to both the relief funds for Irma and for Hurricane Harvey. Whatever you can contribute, I recommend you do it. Those people really need the help. So that's what's great about America, though, is we always got each other's backs when it comes to stuff like this. So be sure to donate if you guys can. But I think the Texans are going to be fired up to play this game at home. I really like their defense. I have Leonard Fournette as my fantasy running back. And I'm really nervous because he's going to have to go up against Watt and Clowney and that Texans defense. 4.5. I hope Tom Savage can get something done. I do think Deshaun Watson's going to take his job eventually. But for right now, get it to Miller, get it to DeAndre Hopkins. Hopefully they can get enough points to cover that number. But maybe there'll be a defensive touchdown in there for the Texans defense. Maybe there'll be a kick return or something like that. And I really like Houston in this game to cover that 4.5 point spread. Our next game is Oakland 2.5 at Tennessee. Oakland's +2.5 at Tennessee, and This line kind of perplexed me. Honestly, I know there's a lot of people on the Titans bandwagon this year. They're getting better. Mariota is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. But I'm just, I don't know, guys. Oakland's really good, and I kind of think that Oakland should be favored in this game still. I know like everyone's jumping on the Tennessee bandwagon, and I think that's why Oakland's getting 2.5 points here. You know, they got the Tennessee Titans got Eric Decker, they got DeMarco Murray, they got Derrick Henry, they got a good line. I'm not completely sold on their defense right now. I feel like they're probably going to get some more points, but they kind of play like ball control football. They're not really going out to score 40 points, and that Oakland offense is ridiculous. You know, you got Carr, Lynch, Crabtree, you got Amari Cooper, you got Seth Roberts, I think that's his name, that they re-signed, and he's really good. They got Cook, even Lee Smith, their tight end, was getting involved, and you always had the Khalil Mack factor. He can control a game on defense by himself. Like, you really have to take him out. Like, their defense isn't that good, but I like Oakland here, especially if you're giving me 2.5 points. I think they're going to win the game outright. Plus, if you're going to give me 2.5 points, I'm going to take Oakland in this game. Our next game is Philly -1 at the Redskins. I think this line might surprise a lot of people that Philly is favored because they have to win by more than 1 point. They are -1 at the Redskins. But I kind of like Philly's team. They got Alshon Jeffrey in the offseason. They got Blunt in the offseason. They got Smallwood and Sproles. Their offensive line's underrated. If you guys play Madden, they've got a lot of high elites on the offensive line. Carson Wentz was actually pretty dang bad after their 3-0 start. They started out good, but then they really fell off. But I think their defense, they've got a lot of high elites as well. If you guys play Madden, you guys, I'm sure you guys probably do if you're watching this video. Maybe not, but they have a lot of good players that people aren't thinking about. Washington, you know, they got Terrell Pryor. They got Kirk Cousins back. They really still don't have a running back. And there's really nothing to fear on their defense. So it seems like this is going to be an easier game for Philadelphia to score. I think they're going to be able to run the ball all over the Redskins. And all they need pretty much is a couple turnovers from Kirk Cousins. The only disadvantage is they are playing on the road. They are not favored in the game. But I'll take Philly in this game -1. I think they're going to win the game. All right, so our next game is Colts +4.5 at the Rams. It's just like, man, did the Colts ever screw up the Andrew Luck experience, man? They should have been in the AFC Championship for years. They got there like once or twice, but ever since, they've just really, really, really screwed it up. They finally got rid of Ryan Grigson, who was just absolutely terrible for him. He's now working for the Browns because, of course, the Browns picked him up. But I don't know, man. Ryan Grigson was awful. They got in Chris Ballard, who came from the Chiefs organization, and before Brett Veach became the new GM of the Chiefs, Chris Ballard was really highly thought of in the Chiefs organization. So it was a really good pickup for Indianapolis. But I don't think Andrew Luck is going to play. I think Scott Tolzien is going to play, and also Aaron Donald. He was on a contract. He was holding out from his contract. I don't think he's going to play in this game, from what I can decipher. Maybe that's changed. Maybe they'll run him out there for a play or two. He has been keeping himself in shape, and he's the best defensive tackle in the entire NFL, the highest rated defensive tackle card in Madden 18. So I really I like the Rams here. The Colts get a lot of points, but I know they have like Jared Goff, but it also kind of feels like they're just going to be able to run it with Todd Gurley a bunch. I know that the Colts got Malik Hooker now as a strong safety, but I remember Scott Tolzien last year versus Pittsburgh. I wasn't impressed. It's not like he's a guy that's like an up-and-comer like Mahomes or Watson or Trubisky or something like, that's a guy that's about to take the next like step. It's just kind of a random backup guy. So I don't have a lot of faith in Scott Tolzien. I'm hoping that the Rams defense can make some plays, maybe like a pick six again, kind of like how Houston is against Jacksonville. And both of them are actually plus 4.5. So you're just taking them to win by a touchdown. Really, actually less than that. You know, maybe a couple field goals. I'm gonna go with the Rams at home here. Pretty much, I'm betting against Scott Tolzien. I don't see him doing much in this game. If the Rams hit Aaron Donald, this line would probably move a lot. But I don't have a lot of faith in the Colts in this game. All right, so this is one of the better matchups of the week, besides Chiefs and the Patriots, and besides the Cowboys and the Giants, who will be our last game that we talk about. This is the afternoon game with like Troy Aikman and Joe Buck and everything, and it is Seattle plus 3 at Green Bay. This is a huge game for both teams, and I really like Seattle in this one. You're giving me 3 points. They've always played Green Bay like kind of tough in Green Bay. You guys remember like the Fail Mary? I really like Seattle's team this year. Their defense is absolutely ridiculously good. I know they're gonna have to go up against Aaron Rodgers, but it's gonna be tough for Aaron Rodgers, I would think. I mean, it's tough to put anything past Aaron Rodgers, but in this game particularly, like, their defense is just stacked. They got high elites everywhere. They just picked up Sheldon Richardson for pretty much nothing because the Jets are tanking, and I'm just and you're gonna give me 3 points. I really think that the Seahawks are going to win this game. I think that it's gonna be tough for Aaron Rodgers to get stuff done. They're gonna really need Ty Montgomery, but I really don't see them being able to run the ball that well. So that's a big problem for them. It's going to be pretty much Rodgers is dropping back to pass, and I think the Seahawks can lock them down. And the Seahawks offense, they still have Doug Baldwin, who's really good. They have Russell Wilson, who's still good, and they also have Jimmy Graham. I kind of feel like the Packers, if the Packers defense was better, I'd probably consider taking the Packers here, but we're getting 3 points with Seattle. I think they're going to win the game outright, so I will take Seattle to win in this game. All right, so we have 2 more games that are left, and like I said, guys, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. There's going to be more gameplays of Mud Squads. Mud Squads is a little bit different than head-to-head, but I can give you guys like a lot of tips about how to be a beast at Mud Squad. So if you like that, be sure to subscribe. That's coming because I can only pick the lines like once a week. You know what I'm saying? So I got to put out some other gameplays, and I'm really going to enjoy doing that because I absolutely love football. A lot of you guys know me for baseball, but I love football, basketball, and baseball a lot. Those are my 3 sports. I actually played football every year of high school too. I absolutely love football. Like, it is I think it's one of the most fun. I think it's like when you got pads and everything, like, it's the most fun sport to play. That's just my opinion. It'll turn you into a man real quick too. That's what I love about football. I love the team aspect of football as well. It's so exciting to get a touchdown or a big play. I absolutely love football. I love playing it. I still love it now. It kind of sucks about the head injuries and stuff like that. It's kind of brutal, but I still will love football forever. I love football a lot, so I can't wait to make these videos. And I really like this Madden 18 game. I am absolutely hooked on this game. I've been playing it a bunch. So, and Mud Squads is going to be awesome, man, because it's going to make it so we can play this game year-round, kind of like Park and NBA, which is really, really cool. I'm so glad they did that. I'm trying to push for MLB to get something like this in the future because they need it. They need it real bad, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below too if you guys would like me to talk to like any guests or anything like that. Like, I've thought about like having some people you guys know in the YouTube world on to discuss the lines with me, to like, decide who they would, who, just get another opinion in here of like who they would pick as well. I think that'd be like really fun. And then obviously we're gonna have gameplay for you guys to watch like during the picks. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is, There's going to be more gameplays coming out soon. I'm just going to start trying to make one per day at least. And yeah, so we have 2 more games. We have Carolina -5 at San Francisco. Now, what's weird about San Francisco is they kind of turned up a little bit in the preseason. Like they feel like they're kind of getting a little bit better. They got Kyle Shanahan as their coach. They have Brian Hoyer as their quarterback. I'm just still not really feeling them too much. There's nothing on their team that really scares me, in my opinion. I'm kind of thinking that the Panthers are going to turn it around a little bit. They still have Cam Newton. Obviously, they got Christian McCaffrey, who I think is an absolute beast. He's going to be great at the next level. He's like really fast. He can catch. You can do a lot of things with him. You can put him in the slot. You can hand him the ball off. On the zone read with Cam, he should be really effective. They still have Jonathan Stewart. They got Kelvin Benjamin. They got Greg Olsen. Their defense, I mean, they still got Luke Kuechly. They still got Thomas Davis. They got a couple of guys on defense. Ever since they lost Josh Norman last year, they weren't as dominant on defense as they were in their Super Bowl year. They're going on the road to San Francisco though, and they are giving up 5 points. But so it's kind of they can't win this game by just a field goal. They need to come out and pretty much win this game by a touchdown. But I do think that they can handle that with Cam and crew. With Christian McCaffrey, I think they can get this one done against San Francisco. Probably hold them to a limited amount of points. Try and shut Carlos Hyde down and make Brian Hoyer beat them. Would probably be the strategy that they are going to use. So I like Carolina to take the win here, and I like them to cover the spread of 5 points. And now we're going to get to our final game of this week, which is the Sunday night thriller. Man, aren't you guys glad that football is back? Isn't it amazing? Oh man, football. I'm so happy it's back. I'm so happy my team took care of business versus the Patriots. I cannot tell you how satisfying that game was on Thursday. I think I watched the game. I went to sleep for a couple hours, woke up and got some Sonic breakfast, and I felt like I had a cup of coffee without having any coffee at all. That one was so energetic. All I wanted to do was listen to sports radio and soak in the win. It was just one game in the regular season, but damn, did it feel good, man. But anyways, we got the Giants +4 at the Cowboys. This is pretty much the big ratings grab for the NFL. Let's get the New York market. And the Cowboys, they dominate the ratings by more than any other team, in my opinion. If the Cowboys are on, they're going to get a lot of eyeballs on them. And there's a huge factor in this game. Zeke Elliott is going to play. He's dealing with some off-field issues. From what I've looked into it, I can't really tell too much of what's going on. It does kind of feel, you want him to sit if he did what he did. He deserves to sit. But the evidence is kind of weird. The investigation itself seemed kind of botched. So I don't know. I could see why the judge did what he did to allow Zeke to play. So the main point for us, though, in picking this game is that Zeke is going to play, and that makes him that's a huge factor. That changes this pick a little bit. It makes it harder to pick. But I'm actually going to take the Giants +4 here. I think it's going to help tremendously to have Zeke back. He's going to be very motivated to play. He's going to be locked in to play this game. But I really like the Giants defense a lot. They got Landon Collins. They got Janoris Jenkins. They got DRC, Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. They got JPP. Their linebackers still aren't that good, but that defense is amazing. It was a top 5 fantasy defense last year. I really like their defense. Paul Perkins is going to get more of a role. He had some explosive plays last year. I'm not sure if OBJ is going to play or not. He's dealing with an ankle injury. But this just kind of feels like a weird game where the Giants roll into Cowboys Stadium and they somehow get a win, and they're also getting +4. So if it's close, if Dallas only wins by a Dan Bailey field goal at the end or something like that, you win the bet. So I like Giants here getting plus 4.5. I will definitely take that for this game. So yeah, those are pretty much my picks. Let's go back through them again. I can't believe I'm taking the Jets at plus 8 over the Bills. Oh my God. I just don't think that, I think that's too big of a spread for the Bills to cover. Like plus 8, that's a lot of points for the Bills to cover, even though the Jets are just absolutely terrible. I honestly could see them going 0-16. Atlanta minus 6.5 for the Bears. I think this is one of the easier ones. Like, definitely take Atlanta. Like, I'd be shocked if Atlanta doesn't win this game by multiple touchdowns, honestly. Sorry, Bears fans, but that's the way it goes. Baltimore plus 3 at Cincinnati. I'm going to take the 3 with Baltimore. I think they could win this game outright. I just feel like Cincinnati's not really good at any one thing. They're pretty vanilla. And I think Baltimore could turn up. They got Justin Tucker, great kicker. Like John Harbaugh's a former special teams coach. They might have a wrinkle up their sleeve for a return or something like that. Pittsburgh minus 9.5 at Cleveland. Give me Pittsburgh here. This just feels like a game where Pittsburgh is going to win by multiple touchdowns. You know, I am a fan of Kaiser, but this is the first NFL game. There's probably going to be a couple picks. There's probably going to be a couple mistakes. It's just tough to come into the NFL as a rookie and make things happen. Also, Myles Garrett isn't playing for Cleveland, so that's another factor. And this is as healthy as Pittsburgh is going to be all year. I think they can easily win by 2 touchdowns to cover that 9.5. At least 10 points they could win this game by. Our next pick was Arizona at -2. Actually, it's Arizona -2 versus Detroit. I think I ended up taking Detroit here, as I remember. Not really too strong on that game either way. I'll just take +2 with Detroit. Jacksonville plus 4.5 at Houston. Give me Houston, man. As again, you know, step up. If you can give to Hurricane Harvey or Hurricane Irma, guys, do it. I think Houston's D is going to shut them down. They're going to take away Fournette and make Blake Bortles beat him, and Blake Bortles is just not very good. Oakland plus 2.5 at Tennessee. I really like Oakland in this one to win the game. Plus, you're giving me points. Let's jump on Oakland here, plus 2.5. Philly -1 at the Redskins. I think Philly's underrated. I think they're going to go and run the ball over the Redskins, get Kirk Cousins to commit a couple turnovers. I like Philly in this one. Colts plus 4.5 at the Rams. Give me the Rams. I just don't believe in Scott Tolzien. I don't think he's going to do anything. I think the Rams defense is going to step up and make some plays. So I will definitely take the Rams here in this game, even though we had to give up 4.5 points. Seattle at Green Bay. I'm jumping on the Seahawks here, guys. It's going to be a tough pick. We're getting 3 points. I just think that Green Bay always plays Seattle, like, and weird things happen. The failed Mary, Bostic with that, like, he didn't get the onside kick. Weird things happening in Seattle for some reason for Green Bay. I think they got their number. I'm taking the +3, and I like their defense so much this year. Carolina -5 at San Francisco. I think Carolina gets it done here and wins this game by at least a touchdown, so I'm jumping on Carolina here. And Giants +4 at the Cowboys. I know Zeke's coming back, which makes it really tough for me to go against it, but I'm going with that. Guys, thank you for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Holy shnikes, man. I almost completely forgot to give you 2 more picks about the Monday night games with New Orleans and Minnesota, Los Angeles Chargers versus Denver. Oh my goodness, man. I was editing the video, I was putting the music back in, and then I was like, wow, I completely forgot to make the Monday night picks. So yeah, the 2 rapid fire picks here. New Orleans +3 at Minnesota. I will take Minnesota -3. I just kind of like them to win this game at home. They got a good defense. That doesn't match up well for the Saints if they can slow down Drew Brees. Kind of reminds me of last year of how the Chiefs shut down New Orleans. They'd be better, like, kind of against a team that's not as good, in my opinion. So I'll take Minnesota -3 there at home to get that win. And then LA Chargers +3 at Denver. Now, this is a really tough one to pick. I actually kind of like the Chargers here. I just don't believe in Trevor Siemian at all. I think the Chargers, they just weren't healthy last year. I don't think they're going to win the division or anything like that, but for some reason, Phillip Rivers always plays well in Denver. So I will take the 3 points there with the Chargers going against Denver. I'm so sorry I forgot to break down these games. I will never forget a Monday night game ever again after this happened. I'm so sorry, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching Movie Gaming TV. If you guys enjoyed it, man, please hit that subscription button and that like button. Well, this video needs this a lot, so people can see that. So if you liked it, subscribe, hit the like button so more people can see the video. Share the video, and thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Peace.
Nice and silky smooth.